Hey guys, it's Raven89 coming at you again. This is actually going to be another information based video for people that, are looking to learn how to make competitive Pokemon or to learn how to, at least make Pokemon better. So, I'm actually going to show you a video of my method. This is my personal method of how to really make a Pokemon. To have an idea of how you want to make a Pokemon. You can do this with any Pokemon. I actually made a team using my favorite Pokemon, and I actually used it in a Think Fast competition that I actually have a bunch of videos of on my channel, so please go check them out. But I basically made all those Pokemon myself, just using Bulbapedia, this page. I definitely use this page for a lot of stuff. So check out this page. Anything on information about Pokemon or what they do or what kind of moves they learn, this page has it. So I'm basically going to show you how I personally make Pokemon and what I look at and specifically. So I'm actually going to go to the search over here on the left hand side, and I'm going to type in a Pokemon that I have made before. It's actually a really big Pokemon that I use in my competitive play, especially in my Think Fast battles. Those videos, I spelled it wrong. I use it in the videos, my Sharpedo. So I'm going to go to Sharpedo Pokemon, and it's going to bring me to the Sharpedo page. Now, the first thing that I look at is, okay, I want to make a Sharpedo Pokemon. What do I need to do? What kind of stuff is out there? And what's the best way I can kind of make this Pokemon? So the first thing I look at is the typing. So everyone knows that Sharpedo is a water dark type. So basically what you want to keep in mind is you want to make, when making Pokemon, you want to try to stay along the lines of its stab moves. What stab means is basically the moves that are associated with its typing. So a Surf would be good, or like a knockoff, even though Sharpedo doesn't learn knockoff, but we'll get to the moves in a second. But basically moves that stay within the typing actually get a power up because it's the same type. So that's the first thing I look at, the typing. The next thing I look at is abilities. It's got a rough skin ability and a speed boost hidden ability. Basically, what I do here is I look at what kind of Pokemon I want to build and what its ability is. So rough skin, basically what it does is anytime that the Pokemon is hit by a physical move, that Pokemon's going to take damage, recoil. Well, not recoil damage, but damage from the rough skin. The hidden ability is actually speed boost, which means at the end of every single turn when the Pokemon is alive and in play, its speed stat will go up by 1 level. So I personally use speed boost. So in my head already, I'm like, okay, I want to make a Sharpedo that gets faster and faster. Got it. So in my head, I'm like, okay, I want a Sharpedo that gets faster and faster. So I'm going to go down. And now this has tons of information like catch rate and gender ratio and stuff like that. You'll definitely reference that later on when you start breeding and stuff like that. But this is just how I would go about making a Pokemon. But that stuff is always good to know. If you ever need to know how much a Pokemon weighs for like grass knot or something like that, the weight is on here, so you can look up any Pokemon like Snorlax and it'll tell you exactly how much that Pokemon weighs. So this site is really, really awesome. It tells you how the EV yield is, which definitely used during raising Pokemon and breeding and stuff like that. And it has a bunch of information about the animes and when it shows up in shows and stuff like that. It's a really good site. I enjoy it. It's got all the descriptions from all the Pokedex entries and stuff like that. So I'm going to keep moving it down. And I'm going to stop right here at stats. This is the next biggest thing that I look at. I look at the overall stat. Basically, I pretty much chill right here. I could mess around with this and kind of see, what kind of range I want to get into. But I look at the base stat. I always look at the base stat first. So looking at the base stat, it's going to be a total of 460. It's a medium range stat. I mean, it could be better, but it's not that bad. It's usable. So I'm going to look at its HP. HP is 70, so that's like, it's okay. Attack is 120. That's pretty good. Defense is really low. Any physical attack on this Pokemon is going to be pretty devastating. Special attack is 95. That's not too bad. Closer to 100 is decent. Over 100 is definitely good. Anything under, I say 80. Anything under 80, it's kind of iffy. It's not that great of a stat. Special defense, you're going at 40. That's really low also. And its speed is 95. Speed is definitely a big thing. Since, like I said before, I'm going to use the hidden ability speed boost, I want its speed stat to be good. So its speed stat is 95. It could be better, but it's definitely usable. So that's the next thing I look at. So using this information, I kind of think to myself, okay, what kind of attacks do I want to use? Clearly, you can definitely see here, you want to use physical attacking moves because your stat for attack is 120 and special attacks is only 95. Now, I'm not saying you can't use special attack moves. You definitely can. But depending on what kind of nature you're using, which we'll go into later during breeding, depending on what nature you want to use and things like that, you definitely want to look into, what do you want to do more? And attack will always be a better solution and a better method of attacking another Pokemon versus your special attack, because your attack will always do better. So in my head already, together we already have a Sharpedo with speed boost, and the type of attacks we're going to be doing is physical attacks, not special attacks. Another thing we're going to keep in mind is we want our speed to be good. So that also gets taken into effect while I'm breeding and things like that. The next thing I briefly look at like the type of effectiveness. I mean, I kind of know it's weak to these certain things right here. I pretty much know that, but in case that you want to know, or these things change. I mean, this generation definitely changed what typing it's weak to. So if you're not sure or you want to double check on Pokemon, you can always check what it's weak to, what it's immune to, what it's resistant, by how much is resistant, and what's damaged normally to it. The next big thing I look at is moves that it learns during leveling up. So this is definitely another thing I look at into the next thing I look into here. Right off the bat, I'm looking for moves that get stab bonuses. So anytime that it's going to be a stab move, it's going to be in bold like this. See how this feint is it's a normal type and it's not bold. This is a dark type, which is what Sharpedo is, and it's Night Slash and it's bolded. So next thing I look at is what does he get that is bolded, basically, and what's a really good move that he could have on this moveset. So Night Slash, right off the bat, is definitely a pretty good move. It does 70 power, plus it's going to get stab. Also, Night Slash is easier to get critical hits. I'm not sure what the ratio is of getting critical hits, but anytime I use a Night Slash or anything like that, I never get a critical hit, like rarely get a critical hit above the normality of critical hits. So I don't know. It's your Pokemon. If you're going to make a Sharpedo, you can do whatever you want. So Night Slash, right off the bat, is a decent power. We're going to go Feint. That's a normal attack. I'm not probably going to use it. Leer, definitely not going to use that. Bite, you got 60 power. Night Slash is better than this Bite. Night Slash gets 15 PP. Bite gets 25, which, you could do Bite more, but this is going to do more damage, and plus 15 PP is, I think, plenty for what you do competitive battling for. Rage is a good move, but it's only doing 20. It gets stronger and stronger, but, whatever. Focus Energy, I think that increases the probability of getting critical hits, so, I mean, Focus Energy along with a Night Slash, if that's the type of torpedo you're going to make, by all means, go ahead and do it. Then over here shows like at what level it learns what moves. So just quickly going over this, I'm not going to spend time on every single one. It learns Ice Fang, which it's not a stab move, but that's definitely good against grass Pokemon, which it's weak against. It's good against dragon Pokemon, especially if the dragon type is weak 4 times from ice. So if it's like a flying and a dragon type, Ice Fang will most likely kill unless they have like a focus sash or something like that. It also is strong against ground types, which ground type is definitely out there in competitive play. So, Swagger, that's definitely a decent status move that he can get. Assurance, 60, that's decent. Crunch, definitely 80 power, that's really good. Also gets 15 PP, so this is already, Crunch is already better in my eyes, this Night Slash and this Bite. So, in my head, I'm kind of made up my mind. Just briefly looking at this, Crunch is definitely going to be the way to go. He also gets Slash, which is a normal type, so it's going to be pretty standard damage. Also has a higher probability of getting critical hits, but I'm not. I'm going to kind of stay away with that. Stay away from that. Aqua Jet. Aqua Jet is a really good move. Now, granted, it only has 40 power, but it's stab, and it's a priority move. So this move is pretty much always going first. On top of that, your speed is going to be increasing at the end of every turn. So even if you go against a Pokemon that is basically faster than you, if they do a priority move and you do a priority move and you're faster, you're most likely going to attack first. I've been in situations with my Sharpedo where I used Aqua Jet, it went first, and they used Sucker Punch and it failed because I went first. If Sucker Punch doesn't go first, it fails. Craziness. So I've won matches using Aqua Jet with stab and just going first is just really good. So in my head, I'm already like, wow, okay. I'm liking Crunch and I'm liking Aqua Jet. Some other last little moves here. They got he's Nose Taunt, which is definitely good to stop people setting up. Skull Bash. Skull Bash, this is doing 130. That is really good. But I believe Skull Bash, let me just double check here what Skull Bash actually does. Which, if anytime you don't know what the move does, you can go into it and look at the effects and things like that. So, Skull Bash, I believe, let's see here. Skull Bash does nothing on a turn it is selected. And other than say that the user lowered its head. So basically, this is a charge up move. It takes a turn to set up and then it uses Skull Bash. So that's a really good move, but it takes a turn, and Sharpedo is all about getting fast, getting in there, attacking, and then just doing what it needs to do. So Skull Bash, if you're going to run that type of Sharpedo, you can always run, I think it's White Herb. White Herb, no, it's not White Herb. I forget what the item is, but basically it can skip the first, I think it's like Power Herb or something like that, where instead of any move that it's going to try to set up, and it takes a turn to set up, it can skip that setup turn and just go right ahead for the attack. So Skull Bash definitely falls under that, and you can definitely run that kind of Sharpedo if you'd like. And again, it learns Night Slash at level 56. Next, I look at the TMs and HMs that he learns. So just quickly, you can just look over this. It learns Ice Beams, but it's a special, so I'm not a special attack, so I'm not going to really look into that. Physical attack wise, it learns Earthquake. Earthquake is really good. It's super effective against fire Pokemon and things like that. So, and rock Pokemon and things like that. So, Earthquake is a great idea to run. But again, I want to stick with a stab move. And I want to stick with my Aqua Jet because it has priority, but I'll keep Earthquake in mind. If you like Earthquake, you run Earthquake if you want. Continue it down, it learns Double Team. That's pretty decent, but it's actually illegal in most competitions. So I'm going to skip over that. Continuing down, it learns Thief, which is okay. Learns Payback, which is not that great because you rarely go second. That the point is to always go first. So Payback is not that great of an idea. It learns Giga Impact, which is better than, does more damage than Skull Bash, so I mean, that's up to you. Learns Poison Jab, which is really good considering fairy types that are out it just can definitely kill fairy types. So that's a really good move. That's also, but it's not stab. So I mean, if you like it, you run it. It's up to you. It learns Snarl, which is special. Dark Pulse, but that's also special. So I'm gonna stay away from that. Learns Surf, but it's a special, and then it learns Waterfall too, which is at 80. So again, if you like Waterfall, it has a chance to flinch. That's totally up to you. If you're not looking for that priority and you don't really care by priority, instead of Aqua Jet, you can run Waterfall. And if you are comfortable with just going first with your speed boost, that's totally fine. But in some cases, you will go against Pokemon that are running Choice Scarf. Choice Scarf is definitely a thing in competitive battling. So, totally up to you guys. But that option is there for you guys. Now, the last thing I'm going to look into is breeding. Basically, these are egg moves that Sharpedo can learn through breeding. Now, basically, if you're not really sure about how this works, it's very simple. I'm actually going to show you a move that I do have on my Sharpedo, and it's called Destiny Bond. So basically, the way this works is this Pokemon right here, as you can highlight it and see, it's Quillfish. So Quillfish is able to learn Destiny Bond. So basically what you have to do is you have to breed a Quillfish that knows Destiny Bond with a Sharpedo or a Carvanha, because Carvanha is the unevolved form of Sharpedo. Mate those two together while Quillfish knows Destiny Bond, and that move will be transferred to the baby of the breeding. Now, one thing to keep in mind, the type of Pokemon, the Pokemon that you actually want the egg to be, it has to be the female. So, in this case, the Quillfish would have to be a male Quillfish that knows Destiny Bond, and Carvanha or Sharpedo will have to be a female Carvanha or Sharpedo in order to mate with this male Quillfish in order to get Destiny Bond. Pretty simple concept. Anytime you want to learn any, show any Pokemon any egg moves, it'll be listed right here on this list right here, and that's basically how you do it. Same thing with Hydro Pump. You want to teach your Sharpedo Hydro Pump. You made it with any of these Pokemon that know Hydro Pump, and it has to be a male. So a male version of any of these Pokemon. Get a female version of a Carvanha or a Sharpedo. Made it with these guys, and then you're gonna get a Carvanha, level 1 Carvanha, and it's gonna know Hydro Pump. So if you ever wondered why does a level 1 have that big move, it's because people bred it into it. So looking at this, it's going to show some random information here. It's always going to tell you what level it evolves at, so if you need to know that, it will show you there. So basically, to sum this up, this is what I'm looking at. I'm looking at a Sharpedo with speed boost. Okay? Then I want Destiny Bond. I think a Destiny Bond is great. If you're gonna go first and get faster and faster, Destiny Bond, if you know your Sharpedo is about to die, Destiny Bond is a great move. So if you're not gonna kill that Pokemon using your Crunch or your Aqua Jet, in my case, Destiny Bond, you use Destiny Bond, and when your Sharpedo dies, the other one will die too. And in competitive battle, if it's single battle, 3 Pokemon versus 3 Pokemon, they could be a huge difference of a Pokemon that is really big and bulky and you can't take it out, and it's going to create an issue. So that's a great move. So in my head, I'm going to run those 3 moves. Now, along with that, you can run any other move. There's one more slot open for a move. Because of speed boost, what I want to do is have an option to get a free speed boost right off the bat. So the first thing that comes to my mind is Protect. So I'm going to go back to this TM Generation 6 of all the TMs that Sharpedo learns. So I'm going to look for Protect. And for people that know what number TM Protect is number 17. He learns Protect. I'm sold. So basically my Sharpedo is going to be holding Protect, Destiny Bond, Aqua Jet, and Crunch. You can change it, but that's what my Sharpedo holds. My Sharpedo also has speed boost. So I already have the base of my Pokemon right there set just by analyzing first, analyzing the abilities, building off the abilities if that's possible. If not, it might just have an ability that you might just want. So using that, using the stats, I figured out that I want a physical attacker better than a special attacker. Then I looked at the move set, what is good, what isn't good, and I chose to have Crunch and Aqua Jet for the priority. And traveling down, I looked at all these generations TMs, and I was like, whatever. Then I saw this thing, and I was like, okay, Destiny Bond is definitely down. Because Destiny Bond, I'm definitely down for it. I want to turn a free speed boost, which Protect is definitely great because first turn Protect, they attack, it's not going to hit, and then you get the speed boost. So then at that point you can make the decision if you want to switch out, or if you want to use Destiny Bond, or if you want to use a move. If you think that you're confident that you can take the Pokemon out with whatever move that you're running, go ahead and use the move. If not, and you think that you're going to die because of the move that you protected yourself from, use Destiny Bond. They're gonna take out your Sharpedo anyway. You might as well take it along with you, and that's pretty much it. After that, I'm probably gonna do another video on breeding, basically using IVs, EVs, and your nature selection. That stuff has everything to do with these stats over here. Basically, I'm not gonna get really into it. But just looking at this, I want my attack stats to be the best that they can be. And I want my speed stats to be the best that they can be. So right off the bat, I already know what I'm going to be investing in. I'm going to be investing in my physical attack and my speed. From there, we'll go into, what kind of nature should you use? What kind of EVs, like where should you put your EVs into? And I'll do another video using a Sharpedo as the example for your breeding and things like that, and I'll show you guys how to do that stuff. That video will probably be broken up into separate videos because it's kind of a long explanation, but I'm going to simplify it as best as I can in order for you guys to do what you guys want to do. So I hope that helps. Like I said, you can do this process with any Pokemon. You want to use your favorite Pokemon. You want to use a Pikachu. You use a Pikachu, alright? You go look at your Pikachu stats. You go look at what ability it has. Go look at what kind of stats, what kind of moves. Build your Pikachu. Do it. No one's stopping you. Just because all these people are using the same Pokemon because they're just really, really good does not mean you can't use your favorite Pokemon and still do some damage. Just saying. I hope this video helped you guys out. If you like this video, please like it. Please comment any suggestions, have any questions, just leave it in the comment section below on the YouTube channel, and I will try to answer it as best as I can. Or if somebody else watches it and comments and answers it for you, awesome. And lastly, please subscribe. It definitely shows support to these videos, and just lets me know that you guys like what I'm doing, helping you guys out. And it just encourages me to make more videos for you guys, and it just shows that you guys enjoy it and everything like that. And I appreciate you guys because I'm making these videos for you. I ain't making it for myself. I could be doing something else, but I'm dedicating time to show you guys the reins around Pokemon and really what you can do out there. And instead of losing all your battles and getting all frustrated and hating Pokemon, I want to show you guys what you can do in order to make your Pokemon better. So again, please like, subscribe, and comment, and as always, I'll catch y'all later. Peace out.